gentlemen, you're listening to the Mackay T Show podcast. Here are your hosts, Bryant Mackay and T Davis.
I'm telling you, I don't even know this to be the truth. But as soon as I read it on my phone, I thought he getting death threats tonight. He can just.
Yeah, they said he's still receiving them today.
He better turn off his Twitter feed.
That man probably ain't even going to class today.
Yeah. He gonna get all kinds of them.
They gave him a doctor's note excuse.
Yeah, he needs to be excused from school for a while.
Excuse.
I don't mean to be rude.
Oh, man. You ready to go ahead and get it started?
Yeah.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Bryant and T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We're going to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. College football. I guess we should go ahead and kick it off with the big game of the weekend, Michigan and Michigan State. You want to take it?
I just want to say this. Now, people, this is all, we just have a little fun on the Monday morning. Look, now, when I read this, because, for all y'all that don't know, T don't have internet and cable at her house. So whatever she get in news, either Macaroni send it to me, my boy Larry, shout out, send it to me, or I look at something on my phone. So I see that Michigan lost, so I read the little thing. Okay, boom. I thought the kicker got the ball blocked. So I get to work this morning and look at the highlight. Oh, no, he didn't even catch it. Now, Brian was just talking about, this boy probably still getting death threats. And I was like, that's ridiculous. But then when I saw what just happened, I said, yeah, he might at least need one death threat because this is ridiculous. Like, if he just catch that ball and they'll have the ball on the 40 with 10 seconds to go, I'm pretty sure that they got a better chance of winning than that. That's just ridiculous. Then, not only he done lost this game, and again, he might deserve one death threat, just one. Now, somebody done had a heart attack. Whose fault is it? It's the kicker. And now, the dude that caught the ball and scooped and scored, whose fault is it? He got a fractured hip, the kicker. We blame everything on the kicker. It's the kicker's fault that Memphis beat Ole Miss, and what else? Anything else bad happened yesterday?
LSU.
Yeah, it's the kicker's fault that the University of Florida was not ready for the Mad Hatter and his trick. It's the Michigan's kicker fault. I want everybody to know that he started this snowball to rolling, and it done rolled it down from Michigan all the way to the south.
So it's the kicker that gave Will Greer the PEDs prescription.
The kicker knew the guy that gave it to him. It's his fault. Yes, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, I hope they gave that boy a doctor's note. He don't need to go to class today.
Yeah, he probably just needs to stay in because whoever had that heart attack, I'm sure his family is like, this is the kicker's fault. I agree.
If he just laid down, just grab it and lay down.
Don't try to run. He looked like he was trying to run or something. Dude, just follow on the ball. I'm sure they teach you that. I ain't never played football in my life, but I feel like they teach you, okay, don't try to do nothing special. Just follow on it, and we'll just go from there.
Right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I can't take this.
Oh,
all right, I'm ready, though.
Okay. Let's see. We touched on it real quick in that segment, but our Gators and our Rebels.
Yeah, Ole Miss, it's the kicker's fault for Michigan, but I just want to say I didn't see that game, and I knew that it was going to be a tough game because last year when they came here, I was standing in the stands praying for reasons I won't disclose on this podcast. But I was standing in the stands praying that Ole Miss didn't blow that game because I knew the price of my LSU ticket was going down. There you have it. but they pulled it out. And now somebody is sad because the price of their LSU ticket this year just went down.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done, given that they are in the American Football Conference, and they'll probably, they got a really good shot to run the table at this juncture, I think that they'll wind up being better than, people thought coming into the game. They've jumped to 18th in the polls. For whatever reason, the AP still has Ole Miss in the polls at 24.
That's the same reason that whoever had them number 3. We had this discussion. If anybody care to go back, because you know how I hate to be right, but I told them that they should have never put them at number 3 just because they beat Alabama. Again, Alabama wasn't even that good at the time, and Alabama getting better, which I had said they would get better, but they were not good. So that win was not that big of a deal. Now y'all see.
Yeah, the quarterback, he's about 6'6", 6'7" from Memphis. He's a nice little player. I mean, he put it to a. Huh?
Yeah, apparently they got some 6'6" wide receivers too.
They always find them big old wide receivers. Memphis, it's them basketball players that couldn't make the basketball team.
Well, Hugh Freeze need to get something around here that can't, and just throw it up and help Laquan so he can have.
I've been saying this. We need a big bruising running back. We don't have.
We've been Brian. How many years we've been saying that?
Why
is it that we can't get a decent running back?
Our friendship goes over a decade. We've been saying it every year.
It don't make sense. I can't fathom how you can't find a big back. We had the little boy young man that went to Kansas City, and now I think he at the Titans.
Yeah, Dexter McCluster.
Dexter.
Who was a scat back. Basically, he was a hybrid wide receiver.
But I mean, why?
We had Brandon Bolden, but every time he ran the ball, big as he was, he wanted to jump over 6-7 people, and just every time he jumped.
Get in the air.
Yeah.
Get hit in the air. I don't know what was his.
I don't know how he's still playing in the league, because.
Well, there's a will, there's a way, I guess.
Yeah.
But then Florida went down to. Okay, so I didn't think we was gonna go down there and win, honestly.
The Swamp versus the Bayou.
Then when we had the I want to take drugs incident.
Little Willie, Big Willie.
I knew it was gonna be even worse because although Treon is not like a rookie to the game, he ain't got the same in-game experience with this group that he running in this offense. So I think that we did well. I think the defense could have done better because if we gave up 35 points, the little trick punt or whatever, a trick field goal play, that's not the defense. But every year, Florida, wake up. Like, just give up the 3 points if you have to, but be ready for the trick play. How many times that's got to happen to you before you just be like, okay, he's known for trick plays. Let's just be ready at all times.
I mean, it's on every LSU highlight film you ever see.
Florida is on there for something.
Yeah.
I can't take it. But I have hope because we got a week of rest. Get Treon some work with the offense and get 2 full weeks pretty much because we don't play until the 31st, Halloween game. And
he threw toward the end of the game. He threw a pretty ball. I mean, it was about a 40, 50-yard pass.
Yeah, 1 for whatever is not good, Brian. Just 1 pretty ball out of the game.
I'm just saying that there's hope on the horizon if they can get that going over a course of a game.
Well, maybe our best quarterback probably in high school somewhere. Because my sibling thinks that Will Grisham, she don't believe in second chance, and they said that they don't think that he should get another chance.
Dang, they just putting him out the pasture.
Hey, they so lit with him. He probably got some death threats too. Guess whose fault it is?
The kicker from Michigan.
Michigan's, yes.
Listen, teachable moment, and it should have to be a teachable moment because, like you and I say, every time we talk about this subject, these kids, these college athletes, student athletes, they get told over and over and over and over. It doesn't matter what it is. Do not buy it from the pharmacy without clearing it through the trainer. And 9 times out of 10, the trainer can get it for you first.
Listen to him, Macaroni. We talked about this last week, people. We know it, but we reiterate this. If I was trying to find some PEDs I couldn't, you ain't gonna tell me that this boy just went into GNC. Because he ain't just went to Walmart or Kroger and got a supplement that got no PEDs in it. He did. So then we say, okay, well, maybe GNC has some. Probably not. He knew somebody from this kicker from Michigan, and he don't gave him the hookup. You see how that worked out for both of them. Now both of them getting death threats. I wouldn't doubt if Greg got a couple of death threats.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt. Because some of these fans be losing their mind.
Staying in the SEC, Alabama and Texas A&M. Going into the game, thought would be a pretty good one. Texas A&M undefeated. Alabama with 1 loss, obviously. Alabama controlled it from the opening kickoff all the way through. I mean, Texas A&M made a little bit of a run. Wasn't anything substantial. So that puts Texas A&M in the category with Georgia and Ole Miss right now, as far as SEC teams that were there, but no longer.
This is the thing for Texas. This is a thing for a lot of teams that Ole Miss has figured out. Now, again, we played them, we got them early, but they're not scared of them anymore. And so now that you ain't scared of your big brother and you don't figure it out that you can beat him, now y'all kind of on even ground. And I'm sure Texas A&M, in the back of their mind, they like, oh, this is Alabama. Even though nobody will admit that, but I'm telling you, in the back of their mind, they like, oh, this is Alabama. And then that give them an advantage right there.
I was just reading this morning an article that ESPN.com has on the, you know, how teams are shaping up in the playoff race right now, and I mean, they say the little article has in it lesson learned that the old guard is still top in the SEC, and you know, leads in coming into the season. Auburn was picked by the media to win the SEC.
Oh man, Auburn been garbage. Never mind.
Terrible. Then Arkansas and Tennessee was supposed to make waves. Hadn't happened. I mean, Ole Miss, you know, they were going to be what they were going to be. They beat Alabama, so they had people talking. Florida has been the biggest surprise because they have a first-year head coach.
Yes.
But
nobody saw this coming.
But right now, Alabama and LSU, you know, still at the top. Have been for years. That should be a fun game. I can't wait.
That should be fun. And even though, I mean, Florida-Georgia game should be fun.
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks.
They spoke about that, and I mean, Georgia, even though they lost Nick Chubbs for the year, they still control their destiny. But they play Florida and Kentucky, so they can still win the East.
The devil is a lie.
They still have an opportunity. I'm not saying that they will. The East still goes through the swamp.
Another game that I need to see is TCU Baylor, because I watched Baylor this weekend and they just destroying people. Their quarterback nice, according to their coach. Now this ain't what the coach said, but the coach actually said that he the best player he had since RG3. He pretty much is a white version of RG3, like, and he looks deceptive, like, because RG3 don't really look like that great of an athlete. He's just long, lean. Mm-hmm. This guy, I don't know, maybe West Virginia was awful and slow or something, because he was making 8 defenders look real bad, like when he was running. But I'm interested to see that TCU Baylor game. It's going to be fun.
November is going to be a big month. You got Florida, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, TCU, Baylor. It's going to be a big month.
And you can never count out, even as bad as Auburn has been, for some reason they'll get ready for that Alabama game.
Yeah. The Iron Bowl is always
And then we still got Florida State on the ticket too. We owe them a little something too when they come to the swamp.
Yeah.
But we'll worry about that on down the road.
Let's see. Big Ten, a lot better than we thought. Like we spoke on the Michigan State game. Shout out to the Michigan kicker. Let's see.
When does Michigan State play Ohio State? Let's see.
Good question. We're going to have to look that up.
Because that should be a good game.
You know, he's considering making a quarterback change. He's considering going to Barrett, Urban.
Nobody care what he considers. He needs to be figuring out how he's going. I'm telling you, I said this and I'm sticking with it. Michigan is going to upset them.
That's going to be a big game.
They ain't been playing their best. So
they looking to get beat.
Yeah, I don't think that nobody going undefeated that's going to be in this Final Four thing. Maybe one team. Maybe TCU or Baylor after whoever beat whoever. But
yeah. Pac-12, they got the contenders being Stanford and Utah, and on the bubble team being Cal. It's just amazing to me how a loss can just change things for teams in college football. I mean, Stanford lost real quick early in the year and been on a little roll ever since.
I guess that was good for them to have that early. Them and Alabama to get that early L out the way.
Yeah. It changes the focus.
Yeah, I still don't trust Ohio State. And this Baylor TCU game, I'm looking forward to it. And I don't know how many games Utah got left that's significant, but they look nice. It should be fun to see it. I'm glad I ain't on the committee.
You're right. Well, speaking of the committee, our Final Four picks of the week.
I'm just telling you, I'm breaking all kinds of rules again, but you go ahead.
Oh, Lord, she playing spades again this week, people.
Yeah, we got the possibles.
I am going with Ohio State, Baylor, and then 2 SEC teams. I got Alabama and LSU.
You don't put 2 SEC teams. No, I had 2 SEC teams too because unless Alabama loses to LSU, because I think LSU that might be the only game they lose. I again have the winner of the TCU Baylor game. Whoever can win that, get the ticket. Utah, I feel like they got a good schedule that they can get in, and they've had some good W's. Man, I'm going to just say the winner of the SEC championship will get in. And it's going to be some surprise. I feel like it's going to be some kind of surprise that we didn't see coming. Let's see, who could be my surprise pick? I don't like Florida State, but they undefeated. And of course, we got a long ways to go.
They still got to play Clemson.
Clemson is, I'm not. Is Clemson ranked number 5? Are they supposed to be that good? Look, I'm taking a side note. I don't feel like they're that good.
All right.
I'm not thinking.
I think Dabo Swinney does a great job of talking them up.
Let me see this surprise pick. I'm gonna say if Florida went out, they'll be. Even though they won't, if they don't win the SEC championship, they'll still get a ticket.
Go with a heart instead of a head, ladies and gentlemen. Heart.
If we went out, I'm telling you, if we went out, even if we lost the SEC championship, we'll be hard pressed not to, because that means we'll beat Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
And
Georgia. We
are Georgia. We don't beat Ole Miss, even though that don't look like a good win at this point in time. Ole Miss got a chance to bounce back though, so I'm feeling confident. I think if we went out, we could get that last ticket.
Yeah, I'm looking for that rematch in the SEC championship game when both teams went out, and it's Ole Miss in Florida.
So if Ole Miss went out, you think they'll win?
When the last time that happened? They had a rematch.
Probably when Alabama and Florida played.
Probably.
We got beat. Came out there in all that white, them new uniforms. And then I was just like, this is not good.
And Tebow was crying on the sideline. Yeah.
Tebow got knocked over on the field and hurt. Yeah, it was a bad day for us. Let's see, Ole Miss, if they beat Texas A&M, Auburn, Arkansas, LSU, and Mississippi State, I guess they could. Because I suspect they would hold a tiebreaker over Alabama.
Well, let's go ahead since we took 30 minutes for you to make it. Michigan. Tell them whose fault is it.
The Michigan kicker. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and take our first break. On the other side, we'll get into a little NFL talk and preview the upcoming NBA season. And we'll probably blame the Michigan kicker for a few more things.
Anything we mess up on is his fault.
All right. This has been the Mackay T Show.
What time is it? What time is it?
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. NFL. Last night, let's just work backwards. Last night's game was the rematch of the AFC Championship game from the previous year where the Deflategate debacle started. You had the New England Patriots and Indianapolis Colts. Colts came out motivated. A lot of people were thinking that New England would come out and try to get about 60 or 70 on the Colts. Colts came out and had a great game plan. Stayed with it for majority of the game, and then right at the end, you saw the play this morning.
It's the Michigan State kicker fault that this kicker got his blocked. Now, I don't know who told the offensive line. They looked like they was trying to do
push-ups
or some splits or something. Like, I have never seen the offensive line be that low before in my life.
Right.
I think somebody was paid off, honestly. Because I'm going to have to go back. Because I ain't never seen that. I mean, that boy, I don't know. I ain't even athletic as I used to be. But I feel like I probably could have jumped over that center. Because he was so low to the ground. I mean, come on, man.
So did they reinstate the ball boy? The Michigan kicker reinstated the ball boys and then gave them the money to pay off the Indianapolis Colts offense.
Somebody did something because this is ridiculous. I mean, anybody, y'all go Google it. I ain't seen. I mean, not only the center, he was super low, but even the guards and the tackles was super. I was like, why are they bent down so far? I mean, they asking for this to be blocked.
Right.
We'll find out somebody got paid off.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy scenarios, the Detroit Lions came back to life yesterday.
Well, it's about time they was thinking it up, and I couldn't believe that they was 0-5 as we talked about.
0-5. They come into the game against Lord, who did they play?
Oh Lord, that's hilarious. They played. I don't even see them on this list.
Hold on. I'm finna tell you.
I'm looking at the.
Oh, the Chicago Bears, who are also awful.
No Bears.
Okay, so yeah, Calvin Johnson. We finally have a Calvin Johnson sighting on the 2015 season. He came to life.
What happened was, what do you call himself, Megatron?
Mm-hmm.
What happened was the Michigan kicker made a call to Ultron and them.
Now she bringing in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, he the one named himself after the bad Transformer.
Right.
I don't know who want to be the bad Transformer. Nobody. Anyway, go ahead. Ooh.
That was a perfect time for a gone. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So in this game, Detroit and Chicago, that it seemed like all the bad calls seemed to happen with the Lions. This one went in their favor. Not necessarily bad calls, just scratching your head calls. Golden Tate catches a touchdown, right? He's outside the end zone when he catches it. Falls into the end zone, takes a couple steps. Bears player hits him. Ball pops out. Bears get it. On the field, it's ruled an interception. They review it, and they call it a touchdown.
If you saw that mess again, maybe the Michigan kicker had called in during the review. And he said, look, guys, that was a catch in a football move. So it's got to be a touchdown. Because anybody else in the world would have said, that boy fumbled that ball, incomplete pass, whatever. That was some mess. Somebody else got paid off too.
I mean, it's just amazing that stuff like that. I just don't get it. I sat there and watched it. Now, I wasn't upset because Matthew Stafford got nice fantasy points yesterday. So I wasn't upset about it because that's the difference between -2 for an interception and +6 for the touchdown. But regardless.
Yeah, that was a bad. I can't. Sometimes I wonder if I don't see well when they show these replays because there's no way that boy didn't catch that ball.
Well, another game, we have Denver Broncos continuing to stay undefeated against the Cleveland Browns. Yesterday, 26-23 overtime victory. The Browns 6-0.
Yeah, they're going to do what they always do, win and get in the playoffs. And then
Peyton Manning, 3 interceptions yesterday. He's not played well. Their defense has played extraordinary. The defense is what's really winning them. I mean, they had a stat yesterday. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was something like the Denver Broncos offense has scored 55, 56 points on the season. The Denver Broncos defense has scored in the 70s. I mean, the defense is winning them these ball games. And if Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas had a bunch of drops yesterday. Sanders had a couple drops. If he can figure out, a little rapport with his wide receivers and get things going offensively, they could be a dangerous team. Because that defense is legit.
Well, I just say that they're going to do the same thing they did in the past. They'll win a division and everything. Get in the playoffs, Lord. All right.
And then he'll go eat Papa John's pizza for the rest of the postseason.
Eat Papa John's pizza and sing the All-State song. I think it's
Nationwide.
Oh, Nationwide. My bad.
Come on now, do the jingle. Nationwide is on your
it's
side.
Always there. Unless you're the Michigan kicker.
Oh, man.
I'm going to stop talking about that boy. He don't listen to our podcast, so it'll be okay. Go ahead.
Right. Aaron Rodgers becomes the youngest player to reach 30,000 passing yards, or in fewest attempts. Yesterday.
I like Rodgers, even though he kind of cocky. He is cocky. I like him. I don't know why I don't like Green Bay, but I'll tell you this: I saw this little. It wasn't even a documentary. It was some show that was on, and I just happened to catch it. I didn't know Green Bay. I knew they went all out, but they go all out. I mean, they have a season ticket waiting list for years.
Mm-hmm.
The lady said people, when they have children, they put their kids on the waiting list, and by the time they, of age, they might be, get the call saying they get tickets and that they sell stocks or whatever for the team. You don't get money, but you get to say that you get to come to the shareholders meetings, and I was like, wow. And now I understand why you see them travel so well, because if they don't get to go on the away game, they never get to go to a home game unless you just been a season ticket holder for help. And I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, Green Bay won the game, and Aaron Rodgers was breaking those records, but it was the quarterback for the other team, Phillip Rivers, who probably had the more impressive day. I mean, he played like he was, in a game in Madden 2016. He was 43 of 65 on passing attempts, 503 passing yards, which were both franchise records.
Well, let's just say this. If you got to pass the ball 65 times, you're probably not going to win a lot of games.
His 43 completions were the most in NFL history in a loss.
I mean, if you got to pass the ball 65, did they run the ball ever?
Well, Melvin Gordon, their top running back, the rookie from Wisconsin. Wisconsin? Is it Wisconsin? Yeah. Yeah, he went out early with a foot injury.
Okay, you ain't got another running back?
They have Danny Woodhead, but he's more of a Darren Sproles type, catching passes out the backfield.
Okay, you don't have another one.
Apparently not. And it really hurt to see Melvin Gordon go out. Speaking of fantasy terms, because I had a goose egg. I had a big goose egg, and I was ahead. I was gonna win that matchup until I had that goose egg. If he'd have just got me 2 points,
right? That's shame.
But I'm okay. I'm gonna move on.
Well, that's the coach's fault or the kicker's fault. But
it's the Michigan kicker's fault.
Yeah, it's the kicker fault or somebody, because that's ridiculous that you don't have running backs. They too easy to get hurt just because the beating they take. How you don't have another one ready? And if you're saying this dude a hybrid, why is you got to have another running back?
Yeah.
It ain't like it ain't one guy sitting up there waiting for his chance. I don't know if anybody gonna ever pick him up. I guess sometimes you don't get a second chance. You get people in elevators. I guess.
Ray Rice, yes.
I mean, he could be a backup. I ain't cheering for him to be in the league or nothing, but he could be a backup for somebody like that. Them. Obviously, they need somebody. Anywho.
Right. Well, that's gonna be our next break. On the other side, we'll put in a little preview for the NBA 2015-2016 season, and talk a little bit about what we expect on that side. But it's been the Mac and T Show. Thank you for listening.
What time is it? What time is it?
Welcome back to the Mac and T Show podcast. NBA 2015-2016 season begins October 27th. Let's see. Major headlines.
Hold on. Let's start with the Lakers, because I'm a Lakers.
Right. I was going right with Kobe's return. That was going to be my first headline.
So, Kobe returned, get hurt, But I just want to say that we still going to be bad. But I'm looking at Russell right now with these. I think these are some braids in his head. I'm going to have to make a call out to LA, because I can't have this. I can't stand no grown man with braids. It's just unacceptable. And he look fine with a brush cut. Please don't do this to me, D'Angelo Russell. All right, that's all I want to say.
Oh, let's see. LeBron and the Cavaliers are, preseason he set out a bunch of games. He got an apparent back injury, probably just really more for precautionary reasons. Kevin Love returned to the court for his first time since his shoulder injury from last season's playoffs. Scored 6 points. They're having ongoing discussions with Tristan Thompson with the contract dispute. They need to get that figured out. Honestly,
No, they don't.
He needs to.
Anybody that says a distraction, I don't know why. This man, when Kevin Love is out there, he's not going to get as much. They don't need him as much when Kevin Love is playing.
I don't know why he thinks he's so special that he should be getting.
You got Mop Top Hair. What's his name?
Miles Golf. Oh, no.
No, the other guy.
Yeah.
The Energy Bunny.
Huh?
Anyway, you got the Energizer Bunny that's bad.
Right.
That does the same thing that
Barajal.
Yeah.
You
got Barajal that he does the same thing. He's gonna defend, rebound, run the floor. You got Miles Golf or whatever. That's two big bodies. You got Kevin Love. Now, with Irvin back, LeBron back, and you can put whoever else out there, you really don't need Tristan Thompson. I don't know why he think he's so. I don't know what. It ain't like he was average. I mean, he rebounds and defends.
You can find a bunch of people that'll do that for you.
I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah.
What's the problem? How is this a distraction?
It shouldn't be. Coming into the season, some of the front runners for this year's championship, I guess you'll have to do the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors, who will start the season without Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he got a bad back. That's unfortunate, but he'll be all right. They'll be all right.
Luke Walton will be taking over in his absence, former Laker.
The good thing this is the good thing for them. They can't be complacent, and they still gonna have a chip on their shoulder. Why? Because people continually say, "Well, y'all didn't have to do this, and y'all didn't have to do that, and y'all didn't have to play the Clippers, and y'all didn't have to play the Spurs." So they being disrespectful, like we talked about last year, and they beat who they had to play, and so they still should have a little bit of an edge about them. Like, okay, we got to show them that wasn't a fluke. So I think that's good for them. You know, I'm not a Golden State fan, but I think that's good for them.
And staying in the Western Conference for contenders, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Durant making headlines here in the last month or so. Stephen A. Smith came out and said that word was that if he were to leave Oklahoma City, LA would be one of his destinations, or one of his preferred destinations. Durant came out and basically denied the report, saying Stephen A. Smith doesn't talk to anyone in his family, doesn't talk to him, so basically he's a liar. Stephen A. Smith fired back, basically saying you don't want to make an enemy out of me.
Okay, Stephen A. lost his mind for a little minute, right? Now, I was with Stephen A. because I was like, yeah, in your business, you can't have people calling you a liar. Now, it's no reason to just say the man ain't never talked to you or none of your people. Because, I mean, why would he just lie about that? He never said that you was going to L.A. He just said that the rumor have it or whatever. Well, maybe he started the rumor. Who knows? But this whole, you don't want to make an enemy out of me. What can you do to him, Stephen A? Like, what you gonna stop?
I mean, I understood him saying, people like him aren't going away. Saying, reporters are gonna be there. They're gonna be there questioning you. They're gonna say these things. They're gonna ask you these things. But he could have stopped at that. The whole, you don't want to make an enemy out of me. That's too much. He went a little too far, in my opinion.
Unless he got some dirt on him and he gonna throw him under the bus. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the spirit of the Michigan kicker got it. Oh, never mind. We can't blame that on him because that happened before this. So let's say the kicker because I was about to just make it his fault. Woo! Stage on that one, bro.
Oh, look, I hope that boy ain't going to class today. Once again.
Hey, it's gonna be. He probably didn't go out of the house because he couldn't even go get nothing to eat without worrying about somebody spitting his food or something crazy.
He gonna have to change his name and transfer.
Did they show a picture of him? What he looked like?
God knows. I hope they don't. Oh, please don't.
Hopefully you can't Google it. Maybe they had enough sense to take his picture off the website right fast. Because I'm telling you.
You gonna look him up on MichiganWolverine.com. He's no picture, no photo available.
Yeah, no photo. Yeah, because these people be for real about these rivalries.
Yeah.
Man.
We
got off task.
No, we're fine. We'll get more in depth with the NBA previews next episode, as it'll be a day away from starting at that point. So we'll get more into that next week. let's see, it's going to be another real quick break, and we'll get back on the other side with our Scandal and Empire reviews from this past week. This has been the Mackay T Show. Thank you for listening.
What time is it? What time is it?
Welcome back to the Mackay T Show podcast. Scandal. This past week, just a continuation from last week. You had Lucius basically trying to sabotage and trying to discount.
Lucius is not on Scandal. This is the Michigan kicker fault that Bryant is discombobulated.
Did I say Scandal?
Lucius.
I meant Empire. Empire.
Thank you, Michigan kicker.
I'm sorry. Empire first. My bad. Michigan kicker got in my head, and I went to a whole nother show, a whole nother day. Anyway, Empire. Lucius trying to sabotage Lion Dynasty, just constantly working against them, trying to get them to basically disband. And, he feels like getting them to fight from within. You had the big FBI raid on had them to raid Empire headquarters. They raided Cookie and them's headquarters. I don't know that they ever found anything. They raided them. Let's see. You still got Andre trying to get back in Lucius' good graces. Basically tells him, if I can make all this go away, as far as his trial and his murder rap and all that, he can make all that go away. Would you let me back in? And of course, Lucius says, yeah, because he don't think nothing about it. And so anyway, he has that little shyster lawyer put a tracking device.
Nice slick back.
He puts a tracking device on Andre, and they follow Andre as he and his white girl. Why can't I ever think of her name?
I never know her name.
Anyway, every time we talk about this show, I can't think of her name. Anyway, so they're out there trying to bury Vernon's body.
If they don't kill.
Yeah. So they're trying to, tracking device Lucius put on him. Lucius and Pimp named Slickback, they show up on the scene. And basically, go a little back and forth, saying he's proud of Andre, blah, blah, blah. So basically, he welcomes Andre back into Empire, for doing all this. The episode ends with Cookie being arrested. We don't know why. We're not told why yet. It ends with the investigator getting in her car, and all of a sudden she has these skeletal remains sitting next to her. We don't know that that's Vernon's body. We're not told. But that's how the episode ends. That's a quick synopsis of how everything went down this week. I do like that it's slowing down. There's not a whole lot of boom, 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 boom all over the place. It's slowing down. They're telling a story now. Yeah. So that's very good. Scandal. Let's see.
Hold on. What about the church? Because that boy still believes in God or something. And, he told him something about the commandments. He had some little line about the commandments.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Because I was laughing because on this next scene, Cookie said, if that devil come in here, he going to catch fire.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be strange for Andre because now he's done this, but he's also got the he's big in the church now and trying to live his life.
Have we seen Jennifer Hudson character? No, she got him in the church.
She got him in, and then she left. She left the scene. In Scandal, you still have everybody coming after Olivia. Fitz is walking around firing people left and right. He's firing, tried to fire the little redhead. That's his press secretary for basically outing Olivia. But she was just doing what Olivia told her to do. Hope and Associates trying to recruit new members. It ain't worked out so well. But of course,
who they trying to recruit?
Remember Marcus Walker, the boy that was all about that the black kid that was killed.
Yeah,
he was,
when the man was sitting at the lawn chair with his dad.
They tried to recruit him. He turned them down at first, but at the end of the episode, he basically walks in and says that he wants to be a part of it. So I guess that he'll be a part of their little group. Jake goes and meets with Daddy Pope at the end of the last episode, and that's where we start this episode. And he basically wants to know who he's working for because he knows he's involved with somebody on the outside because things are happening that only has his name on it, and Daddy Pope ain't giving up nothing. So him and I can't think of the other guy's name that's part of B613 that they always bring in, and when they're doing dirty, they go overseas to meet with an art connoisseur or whatever, supposedly, and supposed to get the dirt on what's going on Daddy Pope's end. Well, the art.
So is he out of jail?
Not yet.
Okay.
So the lady that's over the art stuff is also part of B613 undercover. Her and Jake has some history. Apparently they were together. Things didn't work out, or something happened where they were supposed to meet up at some point. We don't really have the whole story on that yet. I guess that's coming. But anyway, she backs out on the deal initially. And then he finally goes and talks to her, and they work things out enough for her to do what she needed to do. I don't think they necessarily got the information they needed. But back in the States, Melly and Cyrus are still going after Fitz. They're trying to get him, basically. Melly's now a senator. So now the women senators are all trying to get, they're right there with the Republicans trying to get Fitz impeached. And they don't want to be a part of it unless Melly says, she's down for it. She turns him down at first. She turns him down at first and then comes back later on in the episode and, says, okay, let's do it. And basically, let's get rid of him. Because, Cyrus is in her head. Cyrus is trying to get her to want to take over the White House. And I don't know how she can just be...
So you talking to her now?
Uh-huh. Because Cyrus feels upset because Fitz didn't let him back in last episode, when he was trying to... Right. So he's,
He had to know that wasn't going to happen. Honey. Honey, as my cousin would say, honey. So, you knew that wasn't going to happen.
So this next episode should be pretty interesting. See where Shonda Rhimes goes with it.
Well, I might have fallen off the scandal bus and can't get back up. I don't know. We'll have to see. Empire, I've been trying to watch bits and pieces of. Fox don't release the I'm always gonna be a show behind because they don't release the newest episode till the day of
the upcoming one.
I mean the upcoming one coming release. So I'm on episode 3. Episode 4 is locked, but I'm yet holding on. We'll see. I am on the Blacklist, people. If you don't watch the Blacklist, go on to Netflix, catch up on season 1. The Blacklist is very good, very good. Reddington is the man. Good show thus far. It's still one of them shows where when you like the bad guy, which is, you don't want to like the bad guy because Reddington, but he has good about him too, but catch up on Blacklist.
Who's the bad? Is Michigan Kicker the bad guy?
No, Michigan Kicker didn't have anything to do with this. We're gonna let him off the hook on this because it started last year. Now, if this had started anytime
in the last couple days,
it would all be his fault. So he was saved by that.
Well,
Michigan Kicker, I know you don't watch this, but anybody, y'all send that boy some love because he gonna need it.
Yeah, he gonna need all the love he can get because he finna have a horrible week.
It's gonna be a long week. Hopefully there ain't no bye week for them because that would be the worst.
Right.
So once he get a couple of field goals under his belt or something, they'll start feeling a little better. But until you can play again, God, he got to live with that. He probably ain't got no sleep in the last 48 hours or 36 or however many. Because he just keeps dreaming of how he fumbled that ball. I can't even believe it.
Well, I think that's going to be our show for today. Next week, get into a little more NFL, get a little deeper into the NBA. We'll try and find some world news to speak on.
I'm sure there's plenty of things that we can talk about.
Yeah. And hopefully all will be forgiven with the Michigan kicker. But if not, we can blame him for some more stuff next week.
Figure out what else is his fault.
Well, as always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Brian Mackay, and I am with...
What time is it?
T, it's still great to be a Florida Gator Davis.
What time is it?
And this has been the Mackay T Show podcast. Thank you for listening.
This is the Mackay T Show. This is the Mackay T Show. We talk movies and TV shows, sports and world news, coasting like on a world cruise. Hosted by Bryant and T Davis. Yeah. You can't tame us. We go on to the top, we're becoming famous.
What time is it?
It's time for the Mackay T Show.
What time is it?
I said it's time for the Mackay T Show.